Hello my friends and welcome to episode number, lost this completely, number 9, race weekend number 9 of course in Tondela. We'll go for that and that this time. Unfortunately we've lost that other trait because we had a negative appearance, so soft tyres we'll go for just now unless we are expecting wets indeed, so let's go for the wets, and I think we're going to start on wet here. It's recommended that anyway, and we'll go for the maximum amount of fuel. Now I have invested in the scouting centre. Simply put, we've put ourselves in debt for it again, but I think that's going to benefit us longer term. So we've got Frankie Kinney back here. He is showing us having a neck injury. Now it said 1 day. It's now been 3 days since we came onto the racetrack, but apparently you don't heal when you're on a racetrack. So, you know, he's back in a pole position ahead of his teammate. If his teammate can do a good job holding up, we can maybe get a little bit out of this. But again, this is a race where I see engine being a very, very important factor. And we're still using the spec engines now that we had. Now, the risky engine that I made is all potential. I think it can go up to 135. Considering our engines right now are 1 and 3, that's a huge improvement. But it came out at, I think it was something like 25 base, which is still an improvement, but nowhere near enough. So I've had to, try and adjust where I'm improving, where I'm not, and try and work that out to make sure that we are getting the most out of improving everything, because we want to make the biggest jump possible next season. And right now we're not doing that. Overall, we need to be making sure that when we make that jump, we make it as a jump. We're struggling here, and I expected us to struggle here. It's all about top speed on this track. It is Milan, which is based on Monza in real life, I believe. High speed, high quality track. We're always going to struggle here with this engine. So any points or bonuses really, and a decent performance hopefully from Santana would be good, because she's really not had a good season at all. How long are we expecting rain for? So we can actually push a little bit here, because we can see the end of that about lap 9 or so, and these tyres are expected to go 9 laps, so actually no, we can't. We'll bring it onto neutral, and it looks like it's drying up pretty quickly actually. Just keeping an eye on that just now. Make sure we can get our strategy right, because any points we gain will be through strategy, not raw pace. It's actually maybe not dropping off that as fast as what I expected it to. In terms of that, it might be worth having an interstop on one of these cars. Let's go on to low fuel. Low fuel, come on. Let's get the max out of your fuel, guys. In fact, no, let's not. Medium. Fuel's fine. Your fuel is fine. We'll bring them in fairly soon for inters to get them going. It does look like there's definitely an inter stint there to be had. What are they coming out on in the pits? Inters now. A bit early for that, I think, but they're still going to overtake us because they're just that much faster. We're actually not falling that far behind. In fact, we've actually caught up with Dembele here to an extent. I think one more lap and then we start pitting in. So I'm going to pit in Kane the end of the next lap for inters. We're going to have to stack here, guys. Go for about 6 laps worth actually. Don't think we need any more than that. We are going to have to stack then inters and about 6 laps worth, because we've not got enough fuel to get us around 2 laps. Simple as that in either of the cars. So that's my fault, and unfortunately the gap's only 6 seconds and it's probably about a 13-second stop, so Santana's going to lose further time. The guys that are going straight to dry I find interesting. I think we're getting the switch over about the right time here. The dry is definitely not the right tyre. Still got all that fuel to go in. before Anna even stops. Frankie Kinate comes out in 11th. So we've gained a lot of positions through being on that wet tyre slightly longer. In fact, straight overtaking some of those soft tyre guys. Yeah, we have to stop again, they don't. But it's just not the right tyre. In fact, I think, again, we can go high here, because we do not need to be on anything else. Frankie Kinate fighting. We're surrounded by other Inter drivers now, which is great because we're all slowing each other up when we need to be pulling away from the dry tyre drivers. In fact, I think we can even go into overtake mode here and attack on both these cars. Frankie Kinate actually doing a very, very good job in this pack here, fighting well with the ZRTs and overtaking them, who maintain that 10th place just now. Santa Ana on dry Inters. We're going to bring them both in now. So soft, will that get us to the end of the race? Yes, it will. Fill the car up. It doesn't let me do that, which is annoying. Pit. And again, pit. Go for it. Right, on you go, Frankie, son. Into the pits. You're going to be now better than these other Inter drivers, because you're making the stop at the right time. But we obviously lose position to the guys that were already on dries. So again, neutral, high, that's fine, and neutral, high. Should have enough to get us to the end of the race, whereas I'm hoping that all those Inter drivers definitely have to stop again. But all those guys that went on the dries early should have to stop again as well, which would be great for us. In fact, Chu not that far ahead of Kinay here, so really showing that this strategy should work out for us. We should be eating in to those dry tyres now, although Inter tyres now, although our below still is pulling away for some reason. Maybe not quite fully dry tyre weather yet. Unfortunately, are we making any jumps here? Yes, we were jumping one. That is Dembele jumped. Alves, is he still out, or is he onto the dries now? Valdez even. He's the one that's directly ahead. He is on the medium compound to our soft compound, so he's on the harder compound, which means I do have a bit of hope that we can catch him. And then obviously all those guys that were already on the dries do have to pit again as well. And I think I'm targeting Sabado with that one, who I think has had a very, very good season. I don't remember the Garudas. Is it Garuda, the orange team with the two old drivers, that tends to be really good? Don't think they've had a particularly strong season in terms of combined. Kinay fighting away well here though, up into 16th. He is losing ground to Valdez, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. But we've got enough fuel to see us to the end of the race, just about. I think if we bring it back down to medium, we certainly do. In fact, do we? 3.4, yeah, should do. Frankie Kinay, he is losing a couple of bits of ground now. Now, there's absolutely no reason why losing places to that little orange rocket is a bad thing, But they do have very, very old drivers, so I'm expecting that they've came off, experience-wise at the end of this season. We are back down to 17th now. Strategy did work for us. Unfortunately, we just don't have the race pace in this car right now. So that's something that, next season, this strategy would have got us good points. This season, it doesn't. And that's obviously, again, based on how much performance push we can get out of those risky parts. That's fine. Ignore that. It's fine. Again, it's fine. Ignore that. You're fine. Yous are going to run out of fuel, aren't yous? And then I'm going to look like an idiot. Kinay in particular is going to toil to get round another lap. That sucks. We're not going to make it to the end on fuel. Which means, again, strategy worked and hasn't worked. That's Kinay about to run out. And the other driver, Santa Ana, is not far behind. So it's a bottom 2 of finished runners again. But it's frustrating. But again, promise, we're only 3 seconds behind Dembele with no fuel in the car. On a track where we should have been destroyed. Let's be honest, we should have been destroyed on that track. So strategy came in, and I think we got our strategy right. Completely right in terms of stopping and what tyres and when. I think we just need to maintain that up. Sponsored objective there, of course. Demoted 2 places. And demoted 2 places as well, Baotang. One of the drivers I've looked at as well, ironically, Baotang. 32 points behind ZRT now. Excuse me. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. So next episode, of course, will be the last race of this season. So hopefully no more excuses next season in terms of car quality. 1 episode left of this season. We're 1.2 million. It's going to keep us in debt because I built the scouting centre, as I said. It's going to take about 12 weeks to build. So be ready for the start of next season, not the start of this one. As you can see, that is currently getting built right here, the scouting facility, under construction. Doesn't tell me how long it's going to take, but it's 12 weeks from when I started it, basically, from what I read. As you can see, everyone else is fine. Let's get the interview done, because I really need to be showing you guys this. Sparrow had a disaster, finishing down in 15th. New personality trait added. He's open to discussing a contract with me. I don't expect to go for him, period. So, that's fine. Money wise, we're okay. Finances, actually, we can request additional funds for minus 50% chairman happiness. Let's ignore that. What have I been? We've been putting away 100,000 a month for that. So, we've got a fair bit put away in that regard. So that's fine. We've got money to come in again, 1.2 million. That's fine. I just don't think the chairman is happy enough with us for me to take that. Anything below this line here is not good. We want to keep our job. I think the best way to do that is to make sure that we keep our job. So we'll leave that. We're not challenging for extra money. Car wise, let's show where we're at. Again, just skip forward a date. Car repair complete. Oh, he's a gambling addict now. Yay. Car. Improved parts. So we are currently improving the brakes and the engine. We've got the brakes to 66 out of 105. This is at 48 out of... Am I improving the right engine? Yeah, 48 out of 118. That's a new risky one. You're at 83 out of 115, which is why I came off that just now. But it says 42 days after race. Now, I believe we do still have till December. And we're in November. So we're not going to get these full numbers, unfortunately. But we can try and get what we can out of it. I'm kind of hoping that we can have everything about 100. Again, I don't see that being achievable. But I'm working on the 2 weakest parts right now. And hopefully, that will transfer next season and we can make a big punch then. I've obviously made mistakes this season, coming back into the game and trying to do everything micromanaged. It's not ideal. In fact, even this, do you know what? Performance, reliability. Even simple things like that, Simple things like that make a big difference. What is our staff's contracts at 26, 26, 26? Might be worth improving them at some point. Right now, I don't think it's worth it for us. But either way, guys, that is going to end this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll hopefully catch you all next time for the season finale at Black Sea.